Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Plug Talk with Fuego, hosted by yours truly, Fuego. And today I have a very serious topic that I want to talk about. It's a very common topic. A lot of people have probably come across it, or have spoken about it, or have briefly touched on it in their lives on a daily basis, which is the ability to socialize. Because some people actually find it difficult to socialize. So, the reason why I want to talk about socializing is because socializing involves being with and a part of other people and enjoying their company. So, basically, being in the midst of a group of people, but having a good time yourself and also enjoying yourself also, and being confident enough to confide in them and letting them confide in you, and working together to achieve all your other goals, whether it be chatting online or meeting up with friends or calling friends or going out. It basically helps people remove the feeling of loneliness, because there's a lot of young people out here who are not even in their mid 20s, but they struggle with the ability to socialize. They just can't socialize. And there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people struggle with socializing. At some point, I struggled with socializing. That was a big problem for me. But yeah, so being able to socialize well is one of the main reasons that having good social skills is important. You know, having these skills will make it easier to socialize and have fun, you know, because it's not really easy for people to have fun when they're in the midst of a whole lot of people. Matter of fact, it's very difficult for people to be able to sit down in a group or in a large gathering and be able to open up and speak. Some of them shut themselves out and basically put themselves in a corner. And that's not healthy at all, because that's how you actually feel loneliness and how you suffer. And for your mental health and your emotional well being as well, you need to be able to deal with that from a young age. Mm, You know, when you spend your time socializing, you're able to build confidence and basically strengthen your love for life, which means you basically find meaning in life and you find that meaning that I want to live. Some people don't want to live. It's like for them, life is just meaningless. And you finally realize that you have a purpose and that God put you on this earth for a reason. And it's very important that you know that and understand that God did put you here for a reason and you have a purpose. You aren't just put here for no reason and you're just gonna die and that's it. No, life is so much deeper than just waking up, going to school, getting a job, and getting money. It's way deeper than that. And a lot of shy and private people struggle with loneliness, which means they know that they're lonely. And this basically either angers them or it saddens them and they fall deep into depression. And this just makes it even more difficult for them to socialize. And they struggle with social anxiety and they eventually succumb to peer pressure and they can't adapt to new environments. Because once you don't have that confidence in you, it's easy for someone to make you do something that you don't want to do. And especially if you're in an environment that you're uncomfortable in, you'll basically think that maybe that person is trying to help me, or if I do what that person is telling me, then maybe I'll fit in or I'll then be comfortable enough to be in that place. And that's not true at all. Because it's important. The first step in dealing with it, right, is that it's important to address the fact that you suffer from social anxiety, right? And that you have social anxiety, even if it's difficult for you to do that. The first step is to address the problem. It's like with addiction. The first step is to acknowledge the fact that you are an addict. Am I right? It's the same with social anxiety and battling with socializing. And you need to be able to now talk to people. Mm. So now you need to now be able to find someone that you can talk to and basically address the problems that you have and how, like, yo, dude, I I find it difficult to talk to people. I find it difficult to be in a social gathering. I find it difficult to even just be in a place with a lot of people, and that's very common. It's nothing to be ashamed of. That's very common. And by talking to someone, you're basically putting and introducing yourself to anxiety inducing situations. So basically, these are the situations that are going to help you deal with your anxiety. Because a lot of people, anxiety has them in a chokehold. They can't do anything in the social place, like I'm saying. So to not succumb to peer pressure also, because when you think, oh, for me to deal with anxiety and for me to be able to fit in, I need to just do what someone is telling me, like I said, for you to not succumb to that and for you to not fall victim of peer pressure, you have to consider your feelings first, which is why I always tell people that no matter what the situation is, no matter who's involved, no matter who says what says whom, you always have to be your first priority. It's you and then everybody else. So your feelings matter, your opinion matters, your thoughts matter. So now in that situation, you need to think to yourself that, okay, no, how do I feel about it? A lot of examples, like, let's say somebody tells you, yeah, man, drink this or smoke this. If you're not comfortable doing that or you don't think that's something good or something that you want to do, don't do it. And basically, if it doesn't feel right, if it doesn't feel right to you when you think about it, it's because it's not right. And you need to take a step back and just say that, okay, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not saying, I'm not, whatever people are trying to pressure you to do or say, don't do it. Just take a step back and analyze the situation, because it's important to be able to stop and think, you know. Because if you just do and do and do, you find yourself digging a hole for yourself where you won't be able to climb out of, a very deep and dark hole. And a lot of people don't find a way out and don't see the light, you know. And once you're able to basically stop, consider your feelings, and think about that situation and analyze everything, that will allow you to basically adapt to new environments. And when I say it'll allow you to adapt to new environments, it's because you will have the ability to speak up, to voice your opinion, and to ask questions, inquire without being overwhelmed, without thinking, oh, if I say this, is that person going to think of me as weak, as this, or anything bad? Once you're able to, like, really stop and think, that's when you'll be able to be like, okay, boom, I know what I need to do. I know what I want to do. I know what the way I feel. And that is very important because that's basically what's going to save you from social anxiety. And, a lot of people We can't do that, which is why I'm talking about it today, because I've spoken to some people about it, and they've shared their experiences with me, saying that, hey, for the longest time, I couldn't even speak up in front of a lot of people or join in on a conversation with a lot of people because it's difficult for them. They're afraid that they might say the wrong thing or they might do the wrong thing because of what? Anxiety and self doubt, also. Those are two very difficult, I don't know what to call them. Let's say, call them maybe, I don't know, rocks. Yeah, two heavy rocks that are sitting on your shoulders and on your chest, and you can't remove them and you can't move further with them on you. And until you deal with them, you're not going to improve, you're not going to get any better, and you're not going to advance and become a better person and be able to socialize better. So, like I said, but the first thing or dealing with it is very important, you know, and you need to be able to speak to someone, like I said. So, the reason why I'm repeating some of the things I'm saying is because I know some people are just gonna, uh, some things are just gonna float past them. They're just gonna go straight, like right above their heads. They're not really, it's not gonna hit them. They're not gonna be like, oh, okay, maybe he's right, or wait, what did he say? So yeah, be able, you need to speak to someone, whether it be someone close to you, like a close friend, family member, even a therapist. There's nothing wrong with going to see a therapist and speaking about the problems that you have. That is actually a very good step, because that's how you're able to, you're gonna get a professional out, like a professional look at your problem, and they're going to give you a professional opinion on your problem, and then you'll be able to now say, okay, my therapist said I should do this, I should do that. Let me take it step by step, baby steps. Take it slowly, one step at a time, one day at a time, one push at a time. you know that I took that from Rocky, from no, it wasn't Rocky, it was Creed. The first Creed one, when Rocky says, one step at a time, one punch at a time, one hit at a time, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Now I'm bringing that philosophy into life, you know, because a lot of people struggle with this. And socializing is a huge part of the school of life because you can excel in normal school and in other things, but if you can't excel in the school of life, then how are you really going to make it? Because that's also going to affect you, not just with your friends, that's going to affect you in school, that's going to affect you at work, that's going to affect you even with family, like in family gatherings. You're not going to be able to basically speak or do anything. You're just going to be bottled up in a corner or balled up in a corner and just chilling and just being like, yeah, I just don't want to be here. I'm not comfortable being here. I, no, this is not it for me. And you shouldn't think that way. That's why I'm saying take it slowly, step by step. And socializing is a very important part of our life. That's one aspect of life that you can't run away from, that you can't just ignore and be like, push it to the side and be like, I don't need this. It's not that important. It's cool if I don't have it. You know, it's a very important part of life. And if you're able to now deal with it and be able to socialize, it's going to make your life a whole lot easier. It's going to make your journey in your life a whole lot easier. So just think about it. You know, just think about it. Because the first step is to think about it. The first step is to speak about it, then to think about it. But to speak about it, you have to think about it. You know. But yeah, that's really it. I know this episode is not as long as many other episodes are, but that's the thing. Some episodes I will make short, other episodes I will make long. It's just depending on what I have to say and whether what I'm saying is worth speaking about because I don't want to waste your time. I don't want y'all to think, oh, this guy is just talking a whole lot of crap and he's wasting my time. No, your time is very valuable to me. I value your time and I value your opinion. So if you enjoyed this episode and you enjoyed and you learned something from this, which I hope you do, which I hope you did, and I hope it allows you to become a better person because this world really needs better people and not just people who will just be like, oh, fuck life and be toxic. And no, we need better people. We need to become better as people, as individuals. That's the only way our lives will be easier and we'll be able to do so many other things in life. So, yeah, if you enjoy this episode and you learn something from this, then stay tuned for more episodes and for more content. And to do that, please like the video, subscribe, and put a notification bell on so you know when we're dropping the next episode. And share this with your friends, please, because this might help some people that you know are struggling with social anxiety and other issues, and they're not able to speak to people. So yeah, just share it with them, share it with your family, share it with anyone that you can share it with, We'd really appreciate that and all the support. And we appreciate all the support that we've gotten thus far. And in the next episode, I got something pretty crazy. It's not crazy, but I think y'all will enjoy the next episode. So yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in and peace, guys.